time, travel time also, not only for the class. So last week, last 2 weeks to be more precise, we were discussing about the response of Vishnudutas because Yamadutas were taking Ajamila out of his grass body and he shouted Narayana, Narayana. Immediately Vishnudutas came and stopped. No, you cannot, you can't take. If at all you desire to live, please stop them. Stop in there only. So Yamadutas became stop. They said, who are you to stop us? We are servants of Yamaraj, Dharmapala, Kinkara. So then Vishnudutas says, so if you are Dharmapala Kinkara, please tell me what is Dharma? What is Adharma? Who can be punished? What is the procedure to punish? How punishment is given? Is everyone is punished or someone only few are punished? Then Yamadutas talk about Veda Pranito Dharma, Dharmasta Viparya. So what is mentioned in the Vedas is Dharma. Opposite to that is Adharma. Those who follow Dharma, they will be sent to Sarga. Those who follow Adharma will come and take them to Naraka and will give the punishment. They say there are so many witnesses based on their verdict, punishment is awarded, etc. So then that was first chapter. Then they said that this person, is a Brahmana boy, born in a Brahmanical family, very nice gentleman, expert in Shastra. His parents got him married to a very gentle lady. Still, he gave up his Brahmanical culture, married a Shudra, a maid servant, and then he threw off his wife, parents, and completely spent the wealth of his father in the service of this maid servant. And then he began to take on to looting, killing, cheating, robbing, etc. etc. So he is supposed to be punished. So there is no other way. Shastra says that one should serve the Supreme Lord. As a result of that, one will go back to Godhead. And giving that up, people taking care of, taking shelter of other man, and they are bound in this material world, being bewildered by Maya. So then Vishnuta say that what kind of adharma is happening here? If people say dharma pala, but you are following adharma. If people depend on your leader, hoping that he will take care of us, and he himself is butchering the innocent people like animals, then where they will go for shelter? What is this? And Yamadutas in between they said that he had performed thousands of sinful activities. He not even performed atonement for even one activity. That's why he is supposed to take into hell and given punishment. So Sundar says that for the first time he chanted Narayana. He already atoned for the sins which he could commit for 1 crore lifetimes, past, present, and future. Then what is the need to do? Another atonements. So you people know don't have any right to take him. And then they speak about glories of the holy name. Then they say he chanted name of the Lord, but he's not chanting with the remembrance of the Lord. He's chanting his son's name. They say it does not matter. For whom you are chanting, it doesn't matter. If you are chanting Lord's name, that's all. It is done. It is as good as chanting Lord's name only. Then they say, so you mean to say that all his sinful reactions are nullified? Ah, yes. Then still he's performing sins. So many sins he performed. And then they say that they are like toothless snakes. Toothless snake bites. After removing the poisonous teeth, even snake bites, it does not cause any harm to the person. So it is like that. Whatever he did, it does not matter. He already performed atonement for all those things. So he should not be taken. So then Yamadutas have no words to say. So Vishnuta said that, but he does not know that he is chanting Lord's holy name. He does not know that this will act as atonement. How can you say he has performed atonement? They say that it does not matter. Just like you take medicine, whether you know the effect of the medicine or not, medicine will act. Just like you burn something, whether you know that it is going to burn everything or not, it will burn. Small kids burn the dry grasses, it will burn. So it will do its duty. Whether you know or not doesn't matter. So that's how, since he chanted Lord's names, things have done. He is not fit to be taken to Yamaloka. Leave him there. So Yamadutas have no more arguments left. They have to leave behind Ajamila and go back to Yamaloka without any person with them. So that is where we completed. We did up to our text number 19, where the Vishnuta stopped speaking. Then we'll continue from there on, from 20 onwards. Sri Shuka Uvacha All of you can repeat after me. Ta evam suvinirnya dharmam bhagavatam rupa tam yamya pashan nirmucha vipram mrityor amunchan.
My dear king, having thus perfectly judged the principles of devotional service with reasoning and arguments, the order carriers of Lord Vishnu released the Brahmana Ajamil from the bondage of the Yamadutas and saved him from imminent death.
Yeah, here after giving proper arguments with logic and reasoning, and they made Yamadutas dumbfound. No, release. Go chhod do. Chhodna pada. Chhod diye. O king, having thus perfectly defined the principles of devotional service with reasoning and arguments, the order carriers of Lord Vishnu released the Brahmana Ajamila from the bondage of Yamadutas and saved him from the imminent death. Iti pratyuditayamya दूता यात्वा यमांतिकम यमराजने यता सर्वम आचक्षुर अरिंदमा. Yeah. So now Sukadeva Goswami is saying that, O subduer of all enemies, O my dear King Parikshit, after the servants of Yamaraja had been answered by the order carriers of Lord Vishnu in this way, they went to Yamaraja and explained to him everything that happened. So Vishnudas told him, please release. They released and went back and they said everything, what all happened. Because they know a master sent them to bring one person and they have come with empty hands. So master will ask, before master asks, they only reported everything what all happened. Having been explained everything by the servants of Lord Vishnu, the servants of Yama explained all this to Yamaraja. This was the first time for the Yamadutas. Till now, no one stopped them. Whenever they would come to take a soul to Yamaloka, they were always successful. First time they saw failure in their life. So they were so much. Later on in the third chapter, we see they were actually heartbroken. What is this? ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? अभी तक जीवन में कभी पराजय को देखा नहीं. अभी पहले बार को स्वीकार करना पड़ रहा है. So they are very worried. They will actually report back with strong vengeance, anger. It is like it is not normal reporting. It is like we really will see the time permits. So then, Vijapashad vinirmukta gata bhi prakritim gataha vavande shirasa vishnoh kinkaran darshanostava.
Immediately efficiencies to Lucas, see his head and to school. He was extremely pleased by their presence. He had seen them save.
So now here so till now the discussion is happening between Yamaduta and Vishnudas, and Yamaduta released and they went back to Yamaloka, reported Yamaraj. So what happened afterwards will come in the third chapter. So what is happening here after Yamaduta left? So having been released from the noose of Yamaraj's servants, Ajamila, now free from fear, came to his senses and, pleased by the presence of Lord Vishnu's servants, offered obeisance to them by bowing his head at their lotus feet. He was still lying on the bed only. So he saw Yamadutas came, he was terrified, shouted Narayana, and then Vishnudas also came and they discussed something. He was hearing everything. He can't do anything else. He was just hearing. Now Yamadutas was gone. Now he was completely relieved. there are two things happened. One thing, he was saved from the fear of death. And second thing, he had something which he did not hear it for last 50, 60 years. After he saw the maid servant, the prostitute, then he forgot whatever knowledge he had, everything he has forgotten. Now for the first time after so many years, he's hearing something about bhakti from some special souls. So he was so grateful to these Vishnu Dutas and he was offering obeisances to them. So in that way. So Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, this should be the duty of the representatives of Supreme Lord. Everyone should bring close to, and they should bring conditioned souls close to Supreme Lord. That should be their service. Tam vivakshum abhipretya Mahapurusha Kinkara Sahasa Pashyatastasya Tatrantardadireem Garanaga. Yeah. So knowing that Ajamila wanted to speak something unto them, Vajayala might want to say that, thank you very much, you came and saved me, something like that. The servants of the Lord suddenly disappeared while he watched. They don't want to speak to Ajamila. They have given him second chance. And they want him to take the next remaining part of the life very seriously. So they immediately disappeared. Srila Prabhupada writes two things in the purport. First one thing, why did Vishnu Das disappeared? So here Prabhupada quotes one shloka. Papishta e durachara deva brahmana nindaka apatya bhojanas tesham akale maranam dhruvam. One is Ajamila is dying akala. He is getting akala mrityu. He was supposed to live for 100 years, but he is dying at the age of 88 years only. That is because of the more sinful activities one commits, one's lifespan will reduce accordingly. Because one will receive curses from so many people. Whoever is affected by that person, they will all curse. As long as they live, they curse. So that will diminish their lifespan. One of the famous curse is that when will this person will die? People normally say. So as a result of that, they will die quickly. Huh? OBA? वो तो है. I mean, that is there. See, when somebody is good, at whatever age they live, people always say that he's such a wonderful person, should have lived some more time. That is always there. That we cannot deny that. But this is one normal thing. I mean, whether it happens or not, I don't know. I mean, Shastra saying it will happen. But other part we see always. In villages, actually, I used to see so many things in the village. People curse like anything. Whether their curse will have some effect or not, we don't know. But they always say that. कब मर जाएंगे आप कब मर जाएंगे ये तो common like what do you say normal simple thing for them they say. So that's how it is. So if the person is very sinful and causing very so much trouble to others, he will die very soon. So Prabhupada is saying that he was supposed to live for 100 years, but he is dying at early age because of all these problems. And now Vishnu Das are saying that, not saying, but they're thinking that now his lifespan has come back because he chanted Lord's holy name. All the curses, all the sinful reactions, everything got nullified. So he has no more karma. He's a fresh person. He's like he's a brand new person now. No past quota is there. Everything got removed. So then, since he's a brand new person without any contamination, he was supposed to live full lifespan. So he has got his lifespan back. So Vishnu Dutas, they are thinking that if he starts speaking to us, he may start glorifying us. But we don't want to hear our glorification. We want he should take Lord's glory seriously. He should glorify the Lord. for the rest of eternity, not us. So they disappeared so that he will glorify the Lord. And then another reason is that because they disappeared, he will become grateful to them and he will constantly meditate upon them. So Prabhupada writes about that. The remembrance will increase in the absence of the Supreme Lord. It should actually increase. If somebody is a pure devotee, the remembrance will increase in the absence of the Supreme Lord. Like Vrajavasis, Lord Krishna left because he wanted to increase their remembrance. So in that way, that is another reason. So Prabhupada says that even we also, because of some things, will reduce our lifespan. In first canto, first chapter, there was a verse. What is that? Prayena alpayusha sabya kalau asmin yugejana manda sumandamatiyo mandabhagya paduta. In that purport, Prabhupada writes how people reduce their lifespan, how people lose the vitality of their life. There Prabhupada mentions few reasons, and in total there are 5 reasons. Indulging in oversense gratification, irregular eating habits, which includes overeating and eating which is not supposed to be eaten, etc. And over dependence on others' mercy. And artificial standards of living. And the 5th one is not giving protection to the 5 category of people and troubling them. The 5 people are who deserve protection is small kids, women, elderly people, the brahmanas, and mother cow. These 5 should be given protection. If they are not given protection, on the other hand, if they are exploited, one's lifespan will reduce. These are the 5 things. As a result of that, one's lifespan can reduce.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
So which is the 5th one you said? Oh,
not giving protection to the 5 people who deserve protection. The small kids, elderly parents, or elderly grandparents or parents, we can say, and women, brahmanas,
yes,
and cows.
Okay.
These 5 people deserve protection.
Yes.
So, in that way. Though Ajamila had some remaining time left because of sins, his lifespan was reduced according to scriptural laws. Knowing this, the servants of Yama began pulling him from his body. So Yamadutas came untimely only. Because they know this fellow is very sinful person. So इनका हो गया, जो भी बच गया वो भी चला गया, because so many people cursed him. His lifespan is depleted. So he is ready for hell. But Vishnudas came and released him and removed all his sinful quota and made him full lifespan person. And then it disappeared. This time was designated at the time of death. But actually, because of the destruction of his sins, his life did not end at that time. Thus, the Vishnudutas disappeared since he had remaining time of 12 years left. 12 साल उनका जीवन में था, तो विष्णुदूत चले गए ताकि his remembrance of the Lord, his remembrance of the Vishnudutas will increase. That is that understanding. So now, so the Yamadutas left and Vishnudutas left. Now Ajamila akela बच गए. Now what does he do? What did he do? Ajamilopi yatakarnya दूतानां यमकृष्णयो धर्मं भागवतं शुद्धं त्रैवेद्यं च गुणाश्रयम् भक्तिमान् भगवति आसु माहात्म्य श्रवणादरे अनुतापो महान् आसीत् स्मरतो शुभमात्मनः.
Understand the religious principles that act under the material nature. These principles are mentioned in the 3 Vedas. He could also understand the transcendental religious principles which are above the modes of material nature and which concern the relationship between the living being and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Furthermore, Ajamila heard glorification of the name, fame, qualities, and pastime of Supreme Personality of Godhead. He thus became a perfectly pure devotee. He could then remember his past sinful activities, which he greatly regretted having performed.
So now there are two things happened. He heard about the principles of karma or principles of normal local dharma from the Yamadudas. And he heard about bhakti from the Vishnudas. And he also heard about the supernatural glories of Supreme Lord and his holy name, which are non-different from each other. In the last class we discussed. Because he chanted the name of the Lord. Lord is Ananta. The name is also Ananta. No one can think that what name can do because it is unlimited. No one can estimate also. So now he had heard about all those things that is being said here. Hearing about the pure dharma approved by the Lord from the Vishnu Dutas. And also impure dharma recommended in the three Vedas from the servants of Yama. Ajamila quickly became filled with devotion to the Lord from hearing the greatness of the Lord, became repentant and remembering his sinful actions. So now he remembered, I was a Brahmana boy. What was I and what I have become now? So he became repentant about his current pitiable situation. So here it says that Dharmam Bhagavatam Shuddham Traivedyam Cha Gunashrayam. The Yamudutas were talking about the Dharma within the purview of three modes of material nature. But Vishnudas talk about Dharma which is beyond three modes of material nature, transcendental Dharma, that is about Bhakti. So according to Yamudutas, if you do some sin, you are supposed to do piety. If you do some sin, you perform a atonement ritual. And you are clear. This is like very basic Dharma, principle of Dharma. But what Vishnudas spoke is about the glories of Supreme Lord. Now Ajamila remembered everything. Whatever he had learned in the school days, everything, and what all happened in his life, he remembered everything, and then he became repentant of his current sinful condition. Hearing the pure dharma beyond the gunas approved by the Lord from the servants of Lord Vishnu, and the impure dharma, that is karma and prachita rituals, which take shelter of the gunas, recommended in the three Vedas from the servants of Yama, Ajamila became a devotee. Now, two things happened. One thing, he repented for what he has become, and he was determined to become a devotee now. There is repentance followed by determination. So now, how did his determination translate into action? That is what is explained in the next few verses. And how that action, where that action led him to. So many years back in one of the classes, but Sunday Bhagavatam classes, Sunday feast class, Sunday Bhagavatam, Sunday feast, Radha Gopinath spoke on this particular section of this chapter. He briefly narrated the entire Ajamila pastime, but starting from verse number 26 to 38, what all these verses, he elaborately explained. And he had coined a word, ragada. We are not able to see. He says ragad, R-A-G-A-D. It is ragad. मतलब बोलते हैं ना रगड़ नहीं. So he also did like that. He went to Haridwar for 12 years. He sincerely practiced bhakti with complete austerity, without any unnecessary requirements. So R means regret. First of all, Ajamila became regretful of what he did. He was a Brahmanical person. Srila Prabhupada writes that generally it is not a compatible match. A Brahmanical boy or girl cannot live with a Shudra boy or girl because both mentalities are entirely different. The Brahmanas are naturally oriented to live a life of austerity. Their life is full of tapasya. बहुत तपस्या रहता है. वो सुबह उठ के स्नान करना पड़ता है और सब कुछ होने के बाद खाना करते. दूसरा उठ के खाना खाते बाद में सब कुछ करते. So it's like very two a different mentality mindset. And these people are completely dedicated to Shastra. Whatever Shastra says, they will try to do. Other people, okay, रहने दो पहले अभी comfort देखते हैं. So both people are entirely different mindset. And Ajamila, what kind of person he was and what he became. And Brahmanas are supposed to always speak truth and they do not harm anybody. But what Ajamila was doing? He was cheating and robbing. So he was like nowhere compatible to Brahmanical lifestyle. And he became so much regretful about what he was doing. And now he became aware of Two things. He became aware of what he became. Till now, he was doing all these things. He never worried about him. But now he was sincerely thinking that I'm doing very nasty things. And he also became aware of Shastra, which he forgot long back. Everything got revived again. This is R, A, and G. He became grateful because he became aware of what he was, what he is not supposed to be, and what he is supposed to be. And he also became aware of what he is supposed to do now. So he became grateful to Vishnu Das because of Vishnu Das only he became aware of all these things. R, A, G, and next to A, he became appreciative of the glories of the Supreme Lord because he heard the glories of the Lord and Lord's holy name. Now he is appreciating Lord's glories and Lord's holy name, etc. D, and he is determined to practice bhakti now. Whatever lifetime left, 12 years. अभी और कुछ नहीं करने का, just bhakti. So like that. In the regret, he was also regretting. We'll read the verses that his parents were so much pious, gentle, and took care of very nicely, and he threw them without any shelter in their old age. And now he's thinking, how did they survive in their old age? How did they maintain themselves? How did they die? He did not even perform the final rites. Brahmanas are very serious about performing final rites. Now he is worried about all those things. So in that way. Aho me paramam kashtam abod avijatmanaha. Sorry. Abod avijitatmanaha. Ena viplavitam brahma. Urshalyam jayatatmana. Oh, with uncontrolled senses, I have fallen into a miserable condition by which I destroyed my status as a Brahmana by bearing sons in a Shudra woman. So one more important thing, the Prabhupada writes that the Brahmanas live for a single purpose, to attain perfection of the life. If they are also devotees, they may aspire to go to Vaikuntha and serve the Lord. Otherwise, even if they are not devotees like Vaishnavas, even any Brahmana in general, their aspiration of life is to attain moksha. This is Brahmana means they have to aspire for moksha. That is a natural normal thing. So this he forgot. Person who is aspiring to attain moksha will not do this kind of activities. So in that way. My qualification as a Brahmana was destroyed by giving birth to sons in a Shudra woman. So this is one point, but all these things are there. So if this kind of person will not take part in material activities. He always focused on doing his the family rituals, family rules and regulations, whatever was taught by his parents, etc. And is focused on attaining moksha, pleasing the devatas, pleasing the Paramatma. That is their main activity in life. But he had completely forgotten. Pura bhul gaye. Din mam vigarihitam shabbir duskrutam kulakajalam hitva balam satim yoham surapim asati magam. I am unfortunate having committed sin and defamed my family. I am condemned by the civilized. Giving up my faithful wife, I had relationship with an unchaste drunkard woman. So now he is thinking, I was born in a Brahminical family. people might have insulted my parents like anything. Because when children does something wrong, parents are criticized. So he now is thinking that what kind of defame my parents have to bear, and they are thrown out of the home. And who will take care? So ऐसा इनको भी याद आ रहा है. Mr. Prabhupada writes, regret helps one in progressing spiritual life. If we, when we do something mistake, something which we are not supposed to do, if we regret and repent, and later on we make a vow that I will not do such kind of things and take bhakti seriously, that will actually help us progress in bhakti more fast. So in that way, the Prabhupada writes, the duty of a pure devotee is to regret his past sinful activities in illicit sex, intoxication, meat eating, and gambling. Not only should one give up his past bad habits, but he must always regret his past sinful acts. This is the standard of pure devotion. So in that way. Vruddhau anatau pitarau nanya bandhu tapasvinau aho maya aduna tektau akritagnyena nichavat. Here it says, ungrateful and fallen in this life, I gave up my aged mother and father with no shelter and no friends, who thus underwent great difficulties. In their very old age, he threw them out of the home. Now he came to his senses that he made a great mistake and is repenting for that. He has become aware of what kind of great sins he has performed. And Srila Prabhupada writes, according to Vedic civilization, one should protect these 5 category of people, including the aged parents. Soham vyaktam patisyami narake brushadharune dharmagna kamino yatra vindati yamayatana.
And for those who have broken religious principles and must they suffer extreme misery.
Till now, if somebody would say that when you want to rob someone, you would tie them and ask for money, etc. That time they would say that for what you are doing, you will go to hell and suffer. That time you would say that I will give you hell. He would tell like that. I will give you the hellish punishment. I only am Yamaraj for you, something like that. And now he is regretting that for whatever I have sinned, the most terrible hell is awaiting for me. Because now he has become completely aware of what he was doing all these years are complete sinful activities. So in that way, I'll certainly fall to most terrifying hell, where those who destroy dharma and are full of lust undergo torture by Yamaraj. So that is waiting for me. I'm supposed to go there. So in that way, he's saying, but he's not going there because Vishnudas came and stopped the Yamadutas. He was on the way to go to Yamaloka. Yamadutas came and they were taking him, but he was stopped. So because he is repenting for what he has done, he also decided that I'm supposed to get all this hellish punishment, but that is stopped. So obviously any person will become grateful to such kind of people who helped us from such kind of imminent danger or misery. So he becomes grateful to Vishnudas. Kimidam swapna aho sweet sakshat drishtam ihadbhutam vayata adyate mam vyakarshan pashapanayah. Was this a dream? Ajamila is thinking, is it really happened or is it a dream? Or did I really see those astonishing people? Where have the persons who are dragging me away with ropes now gone? Where are the Yamadutas who are dragging me and ready to take me to Yamaloka? They were scolding with me. They were scolding at me like left and right, and they are gone. Is it really they came, or is it simply a dream? So then next one says that where are those Vishnudutas, the most auspicious personalities who came and terrified the Yamadutas and sent them away? And these people also gone away. Where are they? Atate kwa gata siddhas Chatvaras charudarshana Vyamochayan niyamanam Padva pashair adobuvaha. Where have the four perfect persons pleasing to see gone? He does not know that they are Vishnudutas. In one sense, neither Yamadutas know that these are Vishnudutas. And of course, Ajamila might have understood, okay, these are special souls, etc. Whether he knew them they are Vishnudutas or not, but in any case, but he certainly heard the glories of Lord Vishnu's holy name. That is there. Then later on, Yamadutas say that who are they, from where they have come? We don't know. You might be knowing. Like that, they ask Yamaraj. That way. They released me when I was bound up with ropes and was being led away to hell. I was about to go to hell, but these four personalities came and released me, and I become free now. So he was. Is it really happened, or it was a dream? He was really not able to decipher what exactly, but he understands it's not a dream. It actually happened. So in that way, he speaks in the next verses. Atapi me durvagasya विबुधोत्तम दर्शने भवितव्यं मंगलेन येनात्मा मे प्रसीदति.
I could see those four exalted personalities who came to rescue me. Now I feel exceedingly happy because of their visit.
Though most sinful, I must have done some auspicious acts to see these best of the devatas, by which I have become joyful. I don't know what kind of act I have done. Something, because of something, I had the good fortune of seeing these best of the devatas today. And who came to release me? He has become double grateful to them. One is they had darshan, and they have done something which he did not imagine. There must have been some auspicious acts as a cause for seeing the best of the devatas. One must assume the mercy of some devotee, because without that the seed of bhakti cannot be sown. Without the mercy of a devotee, the seed of bhakti cannot grow in our heart. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. So Bhakti Lata Bij will be sown in the heart of any conditioned soul only by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. So how can we accept Krishna's mercy? By accepting Guru's Krupa. By accepting whatever causeless mercy coming from the Guru and repentant to Guru, if we accept that and Krishna's mercy following them, it will come to us in that way. So that's what Ajamila is saying, that I don't know what pious activities I have done, but there must have been something. Because of that, I have received the mercy of Krishna and Guru, and now I have understood what should be the purpose of life in that way. And because of that mercy, he called his son Narayana. So Ajamila called the Lord's holy name. Srila Prabhupada writes that the Lord, who is situated in everyone's heart as Paramatma, is so kind that if one has ever rendered service to him, the Lord never forgets him. That the Lord from within gave Ajamila the opportunity to name his youngest son as Narayana. So we say this concept, na? What was that we call, na? Ajnata Sukriti. Unknowingly, when we do some seva to some devotees or something like that, that becomes like Ajnana Sukriti. And that Ajnana Sukriti brings a conditioned soul close to some devotees of the Supreme Lord. And that devotee will distribute Krishna's mercy through the form of book or program or whatever, kirtan or whatever. So that one will connect it to devotees and then Krishna Bhakti and then eventual things will take place. For everything, the reason is some Ajnata Sukriti. Esham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam. Te dvandamoha nirmukta bhajate mam dodavrata. So here one thing is required for us. We should always be doing punya karmas. When we do punya karmas, okay, normally they may punya karmas, but knowingly, unknowingly, sometimes we may do some special seva to the Lord or Lord's devotees. And that karma, that punya karma, which is done for the Lord or his devotees, becomes Ajnana Sukriti. Otherwise, also, even though it remains punya karma, also it is good. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that Yajna Dana Tapat Karyam Pavanani Manishna. So if these three things keep purifying a person, one should never give them up. Yajna, Dana, and Tapa. If you see 17th chapter is all about Yajna, Dana, Tapa only. Yajna in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Dana in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Tapasya in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. The whole chapter is dedicated for these three because these three are very important for anyone in this world. So once, who? I think Paurang Prabhu or Radha Gopinath Prabhu, he was telling that of these three, Yajna, Dana, and Tapasya. Yajna and Dana are supposed to be followed by Grosthas because from Brahmanical culture point of view, Brahmanas continuously perform Yajna. Or every activity they perform, it is all directed towards Yajna. Or they engage people in performing Yajna. If you see any samskaras people in general perform in their home, there is Yajna. Without Yajna, any samskara is not complete. Even in the temple also, every festival we do, there is Yajna performed. Janmashtami, Radhashtami, or any festival, in the morning, there will be a small abhishek will happen inside. Immediately after the abhishek, there is Yajna performed. This is Gita Yajna is going on. But normally also, every important activity that is being performed traditionally, that activity is associated with Yajna. So this is like normal thing. And Brahmana's life is dedicated for Yajna only. So Yajna, Dana are for the Grosthas. And the remaining three, they should perform Tapasya. Brahmachari, Vanaprastha and Sannyasi, their life should be meant for Tapasya. Of course, it is not that Grosthas will not do Tapasya, but for Grosthas, more than Tapasya, they should focus on Yajna, Dana. And for others, they should focus on Tapasya. And other to follow with that. So these three are very important for everyone. So one should always keep them in focus.
Even negative towards that we have they prayed and then that Bhakti Vaibhav they went and told that all is orchestrated due to some Ajnana already Ajamila is how
Ajamila was a nice Brahmana boy, maybe for 25-30 years we can say. In the 25-30 years, he must have done some Ajna Sukriti. Obviously, must have done so many pious activities. That is, there is no way of doubting that. So among so many pious activities, he also might have done some Ajna Sukriti. That is there. And his parents are also prayed for his deliverance. Because any parents they don't want to see their children falling down. This is natural love for the parents. They always pray for the well-being of the children. So even though the parents were put into so many difficulties by the son himself, but they may say, initially they may become angry and they may say something, but ultimately at the end, they always pray for the well-being of their children, even though children they don't take care of them nicely. So both the things we can think of acted upon Ajamila. And the devotee sadhus came to their home and somehow his wife told them, please go away, otherwise my husband will come and steal whatever you have also. So they told her that tell your husband name your son as Narayana. Somehow or other, it is all orchestrated by Paramatma, you can say. So that's why, because of all these things, without Ajamila knowing, he named his son Narayana and he became so affectionate to his small son. He already had 10 sons. He did not become so affectionate to other sons. He had become affectionate to this son because of that Ajna Sukruti. You can say in that way. So now, further it says that Anyata Mriyamanasya Nasucher Vrishalipate Vaikuntanama Grahanan Jiva Vaktum Iharati. So in the previous purport, Prabhupada writes that this is one of the reason in our movements, ISKCON or any other, there is a concept of initiation. So in that, the name is given as Krishna Das, Ramadas, Vishnu Das, or something like that. So that when others are addressing him, he will get to hear and they will get to chant and hear. So that everyone, by addressing each other also, there is chanting of Lord's holy name many thousands of times. So in that way also, Kirtanam and Shravanam is taking care. So that's how Prabhupada writes. So now Ajamila is thinking, otherwise, it would not be possible for the tongue of a sinful dying man, the keeper of a prostitute, to chant the name of the Lord. Because of some Ajna Sukruti, I was able to remember the Lord's name. Otherwise, it is not possible. But I don't know what Ajna Sukruti I did. Something happened. So it saved me. Or the meaning can be, the tongue could not chant that which allows one to attain Vaikuntha. If a person has no pious credits, if a person has not even done some Ajna Sukruti, one's karma does not allow the tongue to chant Lord's holy name. It is not possible. Huh? Okay. Even though one may apparently chant Lord's holy name, but that chanting is out of envy, out of criticism, or derogation, or something like that. It is with offensive mentality, not with, at least we are talking about neutral mentality. Ajamila is a neutral case study. So like that, it won't come. It will come only in the negative connotation.
One incident. There was one old lady and she was very sick, critical. And the doctor treating her in the hospital, he was a devotee. And she was non-devotee. And doctor was very anxious. Now she should say Krishna's name. So he used to daily tell her, chant, chant. So she was not chanting. Then finally a moment came that now she is almost in 2 minutes she will leave the body like that. And doctor was very anxious. Chant, at least chant once, Hare Krishna, like that she was saying. But she said the sentence, I will not chant. And she left the body. So the doctor was saying, I will not chant. These are 4 words. Hare Krishna and just 2 words. But still, at the time of death, so means what I'm trying to understand is, those who don't have that pious credit, even if the situation is forcing them to chant, they will not chant.
More than not having pious credits, they had a lot of offensive mentality. That is the main reason. See, one thing, having pious credits, not having pious credits, also neutrality. But there is so much negativity, it will not attract the positivity.
And the others were very anxious that we chant some Lord's name like that, Narayan, Narayan. So he was not very inclined. Then they showed him some rope kind of a thing, which is called as a Nara or something.
Hmm.
So they said, what is this? What is this? So by that, at least you will say, how, or like that, they were very anxious. But instead of Nara, he said Pichu. That means that is another name for this thing. And then he died. So,
Yeah,
so that is how those who don't have sympathy will not chant even if situation tries to.
it is like that. Even in one of the Bhagavatam classes, Madan Gopal Prabhu was saying that one of our devotees' father, he was a tailor. Tailor. At the time of death, the children were devotees. So they were helping him to chant Lord's holy name. He was not chanting only. Huh? He was like this only doing. Like this only was doing. So it's like that. People, for them, chanting is not at all a useful thing. It is not required. So like that they don't take any note of that. For them, what they were doing is the most important thing. What they were doing whole life, that become the most important thing only. Chanting Lord's holy names or any other things are not important. Even in our case also, when I go home and I speak to my family members and relatives, they say same thing. वो सब बाद में करेंगे अभी नहीं. बहुत सारा काम पेंडिंग है. ये होना चाहिए वो होना चाहिए. करके activities. These things will take precedence in their thought process. For them doing some bhakti and all, they'll actually shout at me sometimes. आप तो सब छोड़ छाड़ के चला गया हमको भी छोड़ने को बोल रहे क्या? So it's like that. You have become irresponsible. You are making us irresponsible. So what we can say? So it's like that. Very difficult.
He was in observe what is going on. And he one of the line he has written is people see TV and movies on their deathbed. This is such a bad situation.
No, why it is bad? Whole life they saw. Obviously they see at the time also. In this world, there is only one enjoyment left now. Watching. Nothing else. That is the only enjoyment. Because previously people have another enjoyment of eating. But nowadays, oh, okay. Abhi everyone is worried. If I eat this, there is TB, this one, that one. No, eating chala gaya abhi. Abhi only watching. So it's like that. The whole world is after watching. पता नहीं क्या बनेगा. So now this is an interesting verse. The he is telling Vachaham kitava papo Brahmagno nirapatrapaha Vachanarayaneti etad Bhagavannama mangalam.
Think but here am I. All of the
What I am, such a cheater and sinner, a shameless killer of the Brahmanas, in comparison to this most auspicious name of the Lord Narayana. Now he is considering himself the killer of his own parents. His parents and wife were thrown out of the home. They might have died now. Then he himself is 88 years old now. So he is saying now, What I am, such a cheater and sinner, a shameless killer of the Brahmanas. So he is considering himself as a Brahma Hatya Karnevala. In comparison to this most auspicious name of the Supreme Lord, Narayana. So he has become so regretful. Now he is actually scolding himself. What kind of sinful person I was, and what kind of blessings I got. Where I was supposed to go to hell and rot in the hell for rest of eternity. But holy name came to me on its own accord and delivered me. And holy name offering itself to me. So in that way, same. So there was a verse in the 10th canto. Sudama Brahmana, he visited Lord Krishna's home, being insisted by his wife, and he had a good time with Lord Krishna. He stayed there for some time, and Lord Krishna received him very nicely, made him comfortable to sit on his bed and washed his feet, and then fed him nice prasad, everything. And after having nice discussion in the evening, Sudama said, "My dear Lord, I'm going." So Lord told, "Stay." He said, "No, no, I'll go. घर पे कोई नहीं, छोटा बच्चा है, I have to go." So as he was going back, he was actually thinking in his heart. He was telling to himself only who I was, who Lord Krishna is, and we were friends in the Gurukul. Lord Krishna stayed in the Gurukul only for small time. Normally, when student goes to Gurukul, they stay for 12 years, 14 years, 16 years, 18 years, something like that, long time. They go at the age of 7 or 8 and they stay there up to 25, 30 years. So it's like long time. There's a thick bonding. But Lord Krishna hardly stayed in the Gurukul about 2 to 4 months only. He just stayed for one Chaturmasya, not more than that. No. Bhagavatam says that he had learned 64 kalas in 64 days. But in addition to that, so many other things also he learned. But in general, it is assumed that he stayed there for one Chaturmasya at max. So in that one Chaturmasya, there was friendship between Krishna and Sudama. It is not like a long education time period. Generally, education matlab at least people are friends for a long time. If not, at least 2 years compulsory. ऐसा नहीं एक ही साल एक स्कूल में रहे, एक कॉलेज में रहे, एक किधर भी जाओ कम से कम 2 साल है. +1, +2, 2 years, intermediate 2 years, other degree 3 years, and all these things. Even before that, generally people study in one school for 4 or 5 years continuously. It's not that every year they keep changing. But ये तो 3-4 महीने का friendship है. And Sudama thinking that Krishna still remembers me. I was no one in this world, and I was a poor ordinary Brahmana, and Krishna is Dwarakadish. Is king, and he treated me the way I have never thought of. So he says this one, Kwaham daridra papiyam, Kwa Krishna Sri Niketana, Brahma Bandhur itis maham, Bahubhyam Parirambita. He said that Kwaham daridra papiyam, where this prapi and daridri is actually like a poor beggar in one sense. And also he himself scolding himself. Because I'm a sinful person, that's why I'm a poverty stricken. And where is Krishna? Sri Niketana, the Lord of Goddess of Fortune. But what did you do? And then he says that Brahma Bandhur. I'm not even a Brahmana. I'm just a Brahma Bandhu. I was born in a Brahmanical family, but I did not follow any Brahmanical culture. But Lord Krishna embraced me with his own hands. So he was glorifying Lord's greatness. First of all, Lord remembered that he was his schoolmate. And then Lord washed his feet. Lord offered his own bed to sit. And Lord fed him Mahaprasad. And Sri Rukmini Devi was fanning him when he was having meals. And Lord Krishna did massage of his feet. And when they spoke, and Lord Krishna also ate the chipped rice brought by Sudama, which he was hiding. And when he was departing, Lord Krishna embraced him. He was remembering all these things and he was telling, who am I? I'm no one. I don't have any qualification to stand in front of Krishna. So what to speak of going through all these things? So for a normal Brahmana, going to a king means asking for some charity. The king might offer some asan. Not that the king will he offer his own asan. He will offer some asan. Okay, if the Brahmana is well reputed person, wash his feet. He says, I am no one. No one knows me. I am Daridar Papi. I am like that. He was Brahmabandhu. He was thinking like that. What is this? How did he respond? And there was another duo also. King Drupada and Dronacharya. And how was their friendly dealings? Yes, Sudama also did not expect anything from Lord Krishna. He just came so that he can meet Krishna after a long time. Many years might have passed. Lord Krishna went to school when he was about 11 and a half, 12 years. That time when he went to Madura from Vrindavan, immediately Vasudeva sent him to Gurukul. So that was the time. And now Krishna must have been, he's already married. He must have been quite old enough. And Sudama, it said that Sudama was old. Krishna, anyway, Supreme Lord is remain saying, but it is said that Sudama already became old. That means Krishna also, according to age, maybe 60, 70, 80 years old, he might be. So many years passed. He was astonished till Krishna remembered. If you read that chapter, Krishna tells about what all they used to do in the Gurukul. And when they went to forest and they are stuck up in the tree in the rainy night and everything, Krishna remembers. Krishna remembers everything vividly. So he was so much astonished. But in the other case, of course, his wife told that please go to Krishna in Dwarkadish. He may give some charity by which we can feed our children at least. So with that concern, she sent him. And he thought that I'll not ask anything Krishna. I'll just go see him and come back. There was no expectation. He just came to see Krishna because he was his childhood classmate. But on the other hand, Dronacharya went for asking for a cow. Even though the king promised in the Gurukul, when I become the king, I'll give you my half kingdom. Okay. And he was not expecting half kingdom. He only want one cow. Even Dronacharya also did not have huge expectations because his son wants milk. So उनको milk देने के लिए एक गाय चाहिए था. गाय के लिए गया. But this king took it very offensively and then he chastised him left and right and rest all his history. The entire Mahabharata took place afterwards. So it is like that.
Why Sudama considered himself?
Any devotee will consider it only. A devotee will never consider that I'm a great person. I'm a devotee, I'm a pious person, not like that. Devotee always considers I'm the lowest among all people. That is their mentality. They are not. That's why they are considering themselves like that. And those who consider they are pious, they are good, they are gentlemen, they are not. So it's like that. Even if you see anywhere in the Bhagavatam, devotees will never say that I am devotee. In that entire pastime is there, na? Purvat Bhagavatamrita. Huh? And Ardhamuni going from different personalities. Everyone says that I am not a devotee, he is a great devotee. They always look at others as great devotees. They themselves consider as non-devotee. That is the mentality of devotee. One who considers like that is a devotee. So others in name only. In spite of following everything, they'll say Brahmabandhu. Even Arjuna also says I am Brahmabandhu at one point of time. Bhishma also says I am not Brahmabandhu, Kshatriya Bandhu. Bhishma also says I am a Kshatriya Bandhu. All great personalities who exactly followed the rules and regulations according to their Varnashram system, they will never say I am so and so. They always say Brahmabandhu or Kshatriya Bandhu, etc. Even Parikshit Maharaj also says same thing at the end of the first canto. I am a Kshatriya Bandhu. That is humility. So it is like that. And that too, it is not always with whom we are speaking that matters. When Arjuna is speaking with another Kshatriya, he would always boast, I am a Kshatriya. When he is speaking with another powerful person, he would say that I am the disciple of Dronacharya. He always would introduce himself as a disciple of Dronacharya, because that gives the credibility. When he's speaking to someone who is on the opposite party, who is of equal, then there is pride in speaking. When a Brahmana is speaking to another Brahmana, when a Brahmana who is expert in Vedic literature speaks to other Brahmana, they will always they proudly say that I have studied 3 Vedas, I have studied 4 Vedas under so and so school. How dare you to challenge me? That is there. That is not boasting. That is required according to the context. But here, Ajamila is speaking in relation to Vishnu Dutas, or the holy name. And Sudama is speaking in relation to Lord Krishna. So there, with whom we are speaking, that actually settles the matter. When a devotee is speaking in front of another devotee or in front of the Lord, they always put themselves in low position. This is called Namrata, Vinaya, Visena, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne. So with whom we are doing that, that is important. It is not that one should be always like that. With equals, one should be strong enough. But in front of the elders, one should be meek. So in that. Hare Krishna, Mataji, you are hearing our conversation? Shweta Ganga Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm hearing.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Soham tata yatishyami yata chittendriyani laha yatana bhuya atmanam ande tasmai majjaye. Sorry.
So that I may not fall again into the deep darkness and ignorance.
So here he says that, here one interesting point. Controlling my life airs, senses and mind, I will strive so that I do not again drown myself in deep ignorance. So now he is determined, controlling myself, including my senses, mind, intelligence, and everything. And I will strive very hard to progress in my spiritual practices. So two things: remembering one's past life and determined to practice bhakti seriously, not to make the same mistakes again. So while this class was going on, there was a point made. Radha Gopinath Prabhu made the acronym as RAGAD, rugged. If there is no determination, and if there is no repentance for what we have done, we again go back to raga. From in that rugged, if there is no D, what remains is raga, means attachment. The old sinful attachments only. So the D plays vital role. Even after being determined also, one should always remember what we were in the past. Otherwise, the determination also will become slack in one day. Once I think Radha Gopinath only was mentioning in one of the class. I'm not able to remember who is he. I suppose Bata. The Bata, the company owner, he was a shoe polish wala in the beginning. So eventually, by polishing the shoes, eventually he grew up and he became the owner of the entire Bata company. But he had a old trunk box in which that shoe polish material is there. Na, everything used to be there in that. Every day in the night before going to bed, after coming back from the office, he would go. There is a separate room for that. He would go into that room. He would open the trunk box and he would sit in front of that. Would meditate for few minutes and then he would go to sleep. So some people were eyeing on him. Why this person is always going into that secret room and without knowing anybody is always doing something? There is some secret there. That's why he has become successful. So we want to know what is that secret. And when the owner is not there, that time these people went in and saw that that box had all the instruments of the shoe polishing and the old worn out clothes which he was wearing at the time. And then they realized, in spite of becoming the great person, he never forgot where he came from. So that's the point here. If we are not determined and if we are not remembering what we were in the past, our practices will dwindle and we again take shelter of raga. Huh? Controlling my life airs, senses, and my see. Life airs means in one sense doing pranayama. Directly meaning is doing pranayama, etc. Otherwise, controlling life airs also one meaning. Asura, we hear the word asura, na? Asura means asu ramante iti asura. Asu, not this asu. Asu means this prana, breathing. Asu ramante iti asura. That means they only love one thing, their lifespan. How long they are going to live. That means how long they are going to enjoy in this world. That is only their concern in the life, nothing else. So life airs are can be taken in that way that the people are only concerned about material enjoyment in this world. So that way also you can take. Vimucchatam imam bandham avidya kama karmajam sarvabhuta surushanto mitraha karuna atmavan mochaye grastam atmanam yoshin mayatma mayaya vikridito yaivaham krida mrugaivadama.
This is what now I which has been form of a being a most soul. I was victimized by the led around by now I shall give up all lusty desires. I shall become a merciful, languishing friend, all living and always observe myself.
Yeah. Now, what is the determination? What he wants to do now in the remaining life? Freeing myself from this bondage arising from karma, the sinful activities, desire and ignorance, becoming a friend. So now till now what he was doing is all sinful activities, which is because of to earn wealth. Because wealth is there, the maid servant is pleased. So and he was ignorant of purpose of life. He was simply beating and cheating and robbing the people one and all. And now he says that till now I was causing pain to everyone. From now on, let me be friends with everyone. Becoming a friend to all beings, becoming peaceful, friendly, merciful, and in the control of the mind, I will free my fallen self who was trapped by the Lord's Maya in the form of a woman, just as a low person becomes the plaything of a woman. So being attracted to that maid servant, I forgot what I was. I lost good sense of mind. So now let me be friends with everyone. Let me not cause trouble to anyone. And let me elevate my own consciousness. So like that is determined. Just as a low person becomes like a captive animal of a woman, I, a Brahmana, have become the captive animal of that woman, Maya. He says that I become dancing doll of this maid servant. So in that way, Srila Prabhupada gives some examples that we should also be determined like Ajamila. Unless until we are determined like Ajamila, we cannot progress in our spiritual life. And there were similar examples in the Bhagavatam. Srirath Maharaj in the beginning of the 5th canto. Later in the 9th canto, we'll see personalities like Pururava, Ayati, and who else? Pururava, Ayati. Yeah, these are some examples. And Shaubari, who are also following nicely. In between, they were derouted, and again they came back to normal path. So all these are examples like that. Mamaham iti dehadau hitva mityartha dhirmatim हास्य मनो भगवती शुद्धम तत्कीर्तनादिभिः.
Now that I have thanks for give up first.
Understanding the temporary nature of material objects such as the body and giving up the mentality of I and mine, I will concentrate my pure mind on the Supreme Lord by chanting His name and other processes. There are two things are mentioned here. First of all, we should understand the temporary nature of the material objects. The biggest problem in this world is the biggest problem in this material world is we become attached to this material world. We become attached to the things of this material world. May it be people, may it be the home, may it be the possessions or property or whatever. It is natural. It is not that it is not that is wrong or it is unnatural or not. It is natural because we have been associating with them for such a long time. So there is a natural attachment. So it is natural that one becomes attached to the things of this world. But that is okay. But that attachment should not continue till the time of death. There is attachment, but slowly there should be some detachment also. When one is growing, there can be attachment. When the lifespan is again coming to an end, there should be a healthy detachment that will actually help all of us. And the second thing is, one should also become freed from the concept of I and mine. Because our understanding of I and mine is in relation to the body. So understanding that they are all temporary and not identifying with them will help one progress in the spiritual life. That is, so it is like that. So if not in the initial part of the life, we should learn and we should try to cultivate. But in the second half of our life, we should start orienting ourselves toward this. This material is temporary. This is not my permanent home. And whatever I have, they are not mine. धीरे धीरे उसको bye bye बोलने का. So it is like that. Huh?
See, once the family has its own family, slowly they will be attached more to their family. Slowly, so nature also does it like that.
It should not be a forced activity. It should be a voluntary activity. If it is a forced activity,
Nature forces it.
it forces it. We may have to accept it. There is no other option. But if you take it voluntarily in knowledge, that will actually help us in spiritual progress. If you accept forcefully, there is regret, there is hankering. Both are there. Regret is there and hankering is there. So, but when you voluntarily give up, there is no regret, no hankering. Yeah. Welcome to temple.
Generally, in previous wars, like, Malala is deserving that he wants to keep living to it. Since long time, I have this question. I know what you will give the answer, but still I want to ask. Like, we discussed a lot about holy names to conceive, and it was very blissful to know that just even half part of holy name one utters that can cleanse one of all the sins. But like the people on whom he inflicted the pain, his wife, his children, his parents. Okay. So now he is free of all the sins because he chanted the holy. But they have already undergone quite a lot of pain. So how it should be seen means that was their karma. That is why they have undergone such pain. Or how you will say the pastime is for Ajamilas a thing and holy names are important. So why you want to focus on that? But still that question always remains in my mind. कि ये तो free हो गया, लेकिन उन्होंने इतना pain झेला, वो तो real pain झेला ना उन्होंने. But that should be understood as their karma.
Now, what to speak of the family members, even the other people also, na, and
I know other people.
the travelers who were robbed by him, who were beaten by him, and who were tortured by him, they are also gone through. Okay, philosophically, we may say it is their karma, but on the other side, they are getting freed from their karma and their purification also. In that way, we can take. They are also
By suffering.
by going through that suffering, they are freed from their karma and they will be benefited. But ultimately, we have to ride our own plane. Ultimately, we have to practice our bhakti. We have to ride our own plane. We have to go through our own karmic reactions. There is no what we can say. There is no excuse for that. Ah.
But from Ajamila's point, yes, he also had performed the sinful act.
Now, if not Ajamila's condition, if somebody else, for what he has done, he will get the punishment. On the other side, the other people, it is not their karma. They have been forced to go through the misery. Assume like that. They are also like new people, new jivas came to this material world. They don't have any past karma, but they were given pain for no reason. So in that case, they'll be rewarded in the future. Rewarded. See, it's like rewarding means this is, you can see like this. The students who are going to school, they have multiple options. They can freak out, they can bunk the classes, they can go out here and there and roam here and there, play games, all these things. So there are some category of students like that also. Some do. And some students who are very sincere, they actually follow the schedules, everything properly. Who will be rewarded here at the end of the academic year? Who will follow properly, he will be happily clear all the exams, he will be getting distinction, first class or class first or whatever. So he will be rewarded accordingly. I'm just giving an example to understand. The one who is going through strict regime will be rewarded accordingly. Others, so they have got enjoyment now. Tomorrow, they will suffer. So this one example, I mean, I used to quote in the past previously also. If we work hard now, without expecting immediate results, if we expect results immediately, if we work X, we get X results. But if you don't take the results immediately, when the results come later on, they will come 2x, 3x, 4x, 10x. So if you are expecting the results at a long time later, the results also will be bigger in product size. So it's like that. That's why we always hear Nishkama Karma Yoga, Nishkama Bhakti, Nishkama this, because we are not aspiring something small. We are aspiring very big. So we cannot demand it immediately to come. There are two things. Either we should do, to get a big thing, we should do big. Or do the small thing and wait for it longer time. But the result of the small thing will become, when it becomes that big, it comes. Yeah, something like that. No, I was telling this this I always tell my mother. In the home, my sister and mother, they always calculate immediate, what is the immediate return. If you do something, what is the immediate return? They always like, don't expect anything written immediately. Just do the needful. They say that, and why we need to take care of them, why we need to serve them, why we need to give them the gift, this, that, all these things. I tell them that don't give the gift as a money. Give them some articles or some books, etc. They say that always is that these people don't read only. Why should we give the book? Huh? It's okay. Who are we to judge? They will not read. Their children will read. Somebody will read one day. Then initially I used to tell them to give the books. Then I started to change it. No books. I made actually our Radha Gopinath's photos frames. 10-20 frames I made and then kept in my sister's home. Whenever you go for any function, take one frame and give them. And they say that they don't like all these frames. I said, no problem. Let them like or not. Tell them to keep in the hall. The frame will be there for the entire. I mean, it is not practical, but I will make sure that every time, whenever they go for a function, I'll tell them, take the frame without fail. Sometimes they take, sometimes they don't take. And sometimes they say, we have taken, we have given also. They have not given, but they say that. Because they say that for them, giving a gift means giving a saree, giving some money, or giving some household article. For them, giving a book or giving a frame is like odd. Because I say, but वो देखे क्या फायदा उनके घर पे नहीं है क्या? वो तो already है. And they say that if we give a saree, they will give a saree back. If we give photo frame, they will not give anything. They don't give photo frame, they don't give saree also. Then now, what is the use? So they are in the calculation mentality always. So in that
is the use of Bhagavad Gita? Then we will give umbrellas. तब खोलेंगे तो याद करेंगे कि इनके नाम से ये दिया था करके उनको रिमाइंड करेंगे कितना पढ़ने के क्या फायदा है. So
hi, it is natural. It is they expect like that. For my sister's marriage, I also told that whoever comes will give them gift. One Bhagavad Gita or one book, Maharaj book. That time Maharaj book was there, journey over there. And the entire family opposed. No way, not possible. I dropped that idea. So it is like that. Are they coming for marriage or are they coming for some Santap Sabha? So it's like that. Huh? So it's like, because they are also not wrong. For them, I may be going for once in a year and coming back. They are there with them throughout the year. The people keep taunting them. They keep taunting them. They are fed up hearing all those taunts. So in that way.
That kind of mentality.
That's why it becomes very difficult to preach to our devotees. Because people listen to somebody from outside. They don't listen to someone in the family audience. So it is very difficult. But whenever I go, I give some prasadam. They take prasadam without any comments. And they ask, kya la raha hai is bar? So they expect actually prasadam. Other things, they don't have any happy expression. And this, even when I give photo frames and all, they say, okay, thank you very much for giving this. They say thank you, but they don't have any, they don't, okay, I was waiting for this. Like that kind of expression was not there. That attachment is not there. For them, it is like any other object. It does not bring their devotion or something like that. It does not bring their search. It's simple. For them, it is not the urgent activity. ये chanting वगैरह हाँ करेंगे 60 साल के बाद करेंगे तो बाद में करेंगे हाँ जब मंदिर जाएंगे ना उस समय करेंगे like that. See, for any typical person, what they are supposed to do, that is the most important thing. For Prabhuji, going to office is not important. For Mataji, going to clinic is not important. For Mataji, to taking care of household activities, children are there, sending them to school, getting them ready, and then making their food and tiffin box. They are not important. So in the morning hours, when husband and children are supposed to go to school and office, for them at that time, that is important, or sitting and hearing Temple Hall Bhagavatam class is important. Obviously, we also say no problem. Start the mobile, keep the lecture on there, and do activities, do the things parallelly. So that is normal. So we cannot deny that also. But the problem is that this is important सोचते हुए इसको ध्यान देते हैं नहीं कभी. इसके लिए we don't give time only, and we don't consider this to be part of our life. In my Ashokli land, when I was working in Ashokli land, I was in Chennai. So in our room, all my other colleagues were there. One of my BTech classmates, he was senior. So he is also there along with us. And every day morning, I would get up and take bath and go and sit in one corner, one small room was there. The owners might be using it as a storeroom or I made it as a temple hall. And I would sit in that room and chant for 1.5 hours in the morning. Then come and prepare food and then go to office. And evening, I come and do the remaining chanting. 1 hour, 1.5 hours, I would do. Initially, I was doing Mangalarti and then chanting. So this friend of my senior, BTech senior, he would always say, every day I'm seeing 2 hours of productive time you are wasting. 2 hours of productive time you are wasting. Since he was my senior, I would not say anything. No, it's okay. But what can be done? I liked it. I like it. I want to do it. So I was doing it like that. Because I was with him, my enthusiasm also came down. So the 2 hours became 1.5 hours, 1.5 became 1 hour. Of course, my office also got changed. Later on, I was supposed to go outside Chennai. Office was outside Chennai. We have to leave 6:30 a.m. in the morning. So I used to chant in the bus. बस में भी लोग पूछते थे क्या कर रहे हैं आप chanting ये टाइम में chanting करने का. So all people used to go for vacation here and there because I was in Chennai. So 1 week I would go to Tirupati, 1 week I would go to Kanchipuram. All the nearby holy places I would make travels, and afterwards I would come and give them prasadam. They say that what's happening? This is the time to go out with girlfriend. You are supposed to go this place and that place. They would say that Tamil Nadu, what is this place? Kodaikanal, Ooty, Kodaikanal. They would say that you're supposed to go to Ooty, Kodaikanal. What is this? You are going to Kanchipuram, Srirangam, and Tirupati. What is this? What's happening to you? They would say that because I did not informed in the office. Normally would go without tilak and all. So they were thinking that I was normal like anyone. Even when I quit my job in Ashok Land after 1 year, I got a job in Bangalore. I was going back to stay with the devotees there. So when I told my super boss that I'm going back to stay with my friends, first question he asked, with girlfriends? No, not girlfriends. My classmates from ISC Bangalore. I'm going to stay with them. So what is there in that? You're also going to work there. You're working here also. Then why you want to go there? Then I told, sir, actually I do some spiritual practices. I want to go and stay with my friends so that I'll be able to practice properly. Then he also looked at, what is this? Is this the time to practice all these things? How old are you? He asked immediately. I don't know what I said that time, whatever was my age at that time. This was in 2007. So maybe 24 years. 83 born, 2007. Like I said, you are still teenage. I mean, you are still in youth. You are practicing all this ISKCON, all these things. So then he told, they make you recluse. They brainwash you, they make you recluse. You don't go, you are not going. I'll speak to your manager. I'll cancel your job. Then I said, whatever you do, I'm going. You want to speak to him, let you speak to him, no problem. So after going to the next job, first thing I told that I'm ISKCON person. In the previous company, I never told anybody I'm ISKCON person. But after going to the next place, I informed them I'm ISKCON person from the very beginning, so that no one will object me for anything. So it is like that. So because people outside, for them, life means something. If something is outside that circle, that means they are crazy. So it's natural. We cannot see them wrong also. It's normal. I'm sorry. My all stories I'm telling. All of you also must be having same stories. Yeah.
Till now we were resigning also. Not that he wanted anything from you, but
Yeah.
since they both were together, so it was easy. But everybody feels happy to say, I say, what is happy? It's fallen into that cult. What cult? Cult.
Cult.
My sister-in-law now also feels completely changed him also like
it happens.
But then when they see that you are determined, then slowly they nothing tak tika hai matlab. Something is there in.
They will also need some time because we are seeing devotees for so much time. For us, it has become normal. And when they also see devotees, it becomes normal for them. It takes some time for anybody.
Like what you said next.
Understanding the temporary nature of material objects such as the body and giving up the mentality of I and mind, I will concentrate my pure mind on the Supreme Lord by chanting his name and other processes. Tat kirtanadibihi. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, etc. All these things. Having the understanding that these objects such as body are false, I'll give up the conception of I and mind. So till now, he was doing all these sinful activities for the purpose of the maintaining that maid servant so that he will get happiness. So that was his whole idea. So now he said, no more I and mine. My whole life is meant for chanting Lord soul and soul. Nothing else. No other activity to do. Iti jata sunirvedaha Shana Sangena Sadhushu Gangadvaram Upeyaya Mukta Sarvanu Bandhana.
Life determination. Was freed from all material affection. He immediately started for Haridwar.
Thus becoming detached from material life by association with the servants of Lord Vishnu. Ajamala, free from attachment to wife and sons, went to Haridwar. So now he had become freed from attachment to that maid servant and her children. He immediately went to Haridwar. It is said Ganga Dwaram. In third canto, Haridwar is called Dwaridunadya. When after the meeting of Uddhava and Vidura asked, please speak to me what Lord said. So Uddhava told that Lord told me to go to Bardika Ashram. You please go to Maitreya. So Vidura met Maitreya in Haridwar. It is known as Dwari Dyunadya. Dyunadya means the heavenly river, not Dvinadya. Dyu means heaven. Dyunadya means heavenly river. Ganga is the heavenly river. And Dwari, the pathway or the entrance of the heavenly river. So in one sense, from Haridwar, the upper portion is all considered to be Himalayas. So the Haridwar is the place, the flat land is meeting the Himalayan mountain. This is the junction. It is considered to be the junction. So in that way. Same way here you can say Ganga Dwaram. Entrance to Devabhumi. So that's why it is Ganga Dwaram. Sa tasmin deva sadhana asino yogamastitaha pratyahritendriya gramo yoja manatmani. Sitting in a temple of Lord Vishnu. The temple is known as Bindu Madhava temple in Haridwar. Even today also we have the Bindu Madhava temple there. He practiced Bhakti Yoga and controlling his senses, concentrated his mind on the Supreme Lord. Savai Manakrishna Padara Vindayor Vashamshi Vaikunta Gunanu Varnanam. So he completely dedicated himself to execute Bhakti. So Srila Prabhupada writes, learning from the life of Ajamila, we should vow with determination to do what is necessary to follow this path. Whatever Ajamila followed now, we should follow. Tato gunebhya atmanam viyujyatma samadhina yuyuje bhagavad damni brahmani anubhavatmani. Detaching his mind from the sense objects with full concentration, he absorbed his mind in the form of the Lord, the Supreme Brahman, who is the object of realization. That means he completely meditated on Supreme Lord only. Detaching his mind from sense objects with concentrated minds, he engaged his mind in the form of the Supreme Lord, Bhagavad Dhamni. This shloka is there na in the Bhagavad Gita. Natad bhashete suryo na shishanko na pavaka yad gatva nivartante tad dama paramamama. Their dama word is there. So Sri Lakshman Chakra gives dama as three meanings. In Sanskrit dictionary, the dama word has three meanings. One meaning dama means the light, indicating Brahmajyoti. Another meaning dama means abode, Vaikunta. The third meaning dama means the form of Lord Vishnu. They attain Taddama Paramama means they attain me in Vaikunta. They attain my form. So here Bhagavad Dhamni means the form of the Bhagavan, the form of the Supreme Lord. Chakravarti Vishnu Chakravarti. Dhamma means light, abode, and form. All the three. Brahman and Vaikunta and Bhagavan. So now, the Prabhupada says that if one worships the deity in the temple or in home, one's mind will naturally be absorbed in thoughts of the Lord and his form. Especially householders, those who have deity at home, na, half of the thought process goes for that only. But deities के लिए अभी क्या बनाने का, किस प्रकार का कपड़ा लाने का, कपड़ा बनाने का, और garland बनाने का, like all these things, they actually take a lot of time. They actually occupy a lot of mind space, so that the mind will not wander here and there for materialistic activities. That's why Prabhupada said that one should always serve the deity. So here you can see this is the Bindu Madhava deity in Haridwar. You people went there? This is not the Bindu Madhava deity?
No, I think they are.
I full with full dressing and so many things you may not be able to. There also one Bindu Madhava is there. In Haridwar also there is one Bindu Madhava. Bindu Madhava temple. Yeah, maybe. I also did not go there. Haridwar I went once with for our Brahmachari Yatra we went, and actually we spent more time in Devaprayag. We stayed in Devaprayag. We stayed there, and all these things were there. And we also we stayed in Rishikesh. We went to Devaprayag. We stayed a whole day there and came back in the night. Haridwar also we were taken there in the afternoon, mainly for Ganga bath. We took Ganga bath, and then there is one. What do you call this? Shaktipeeth. Shitala Devi. We go through rope and there is. So for all brahmacharis, they purchased. They made all the rollers to go through the rope lines. That only took a lot of time. And then we went to the place where Vidura met Maitreya. That meeting place. There we went and there we had Bhagavatam class, everything. And from there they have taken us to a place known as Hankal. The pastime place of Daksha Yajna. Hankal. They say that. They say it is here only Daksha Yajna happened. Here उनका सर काटा है, इसको इसमें डाला. यहाँ पे पार्वती देवी अपना शरीर को त्याग नहीं बर्न किया. हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं? भस्म कर दिया. So like that they show all these places. So we went there, etc. Even we also did not go to Bindu Madhava temple. They said Bindu Madhava temple, if you go, it is. They said that it is interiors of the city. You can't go by vehicle and then you have to walk long distance. That they said. That's why they did not take us there. So whatever it is. So basically, this was the scene of Ajamila, where he was supposed to be taken by Yamadutas to hell. Vishnudas came and stopped him, and eventually came to Haridwar, worship the Supreme Lord. And in the next verse, it says that now Vaikuntha Vimana came to take him to spiritual world. The same Vishnudas who came there, at the time he wanted to speak to them. Now they themselves came and welcoming him to take him to spiritual world. And this is the transformation in the life of Ajamila. He was
Started looking
okay.
at
Yerhi uparatadi tasmin adrakshet purushan pura upalabhyopalabham prag vavande shirasa dvija.
Yes, he offered them.
When his intelligence became fixed on the form of the Supreme Lord, he saw the persons before him whom he had previously seen. Seeing them, he bowed his head. So now, by sincere practice for 12 years, now he is ready to enter into Vaikuntha. When he was ready to enter into Vaikuntha, the same Vishnutas again came to take him along with them. Previously, he became zero. Whatever Papa was there, everything has been removed. The atonement, everything has been completed and he was made zero. Now he has performed bhakti and he became ready to go back to Vaikuntha. When his intelligence was fixed on the form of the Lord, he saw before him the forms which he previously had. In the same, Vishnutas came, inviting him to return to the spiritual world. Hitva kalevaram tirte Gangayam darshanadanu Sadhya swarupam jagre Bhagavad parshvavartinam. After seeing those forms, he gave up his body at that holy place Haridwar on the river of on the Ganga river and immediately attained a spiritual body as an associate of the Supreme Lord. He saw them, he paid obeisances, his 100 years are over, he gave up his body and he attained a spiritual body and then Sakam vihaya sa vipro Mahapurusha kinkarai Haimam vimanam arohya Yayau yatra shriyapatihi. Accompanied by the order carriers of Lord Vishnu, Ajamila boarded that airplane made up of gold, Haimam Vimanam. Passing through the airways, he went directly to the abode of Lord Vishnu, the husband of the goddess of fortune. The Prabhupada writes, the scientists are working very hard to go to moon. If you practice bhakti, the Vimana will come and take you to spiritual world. What do you want? So in that way.
Is that Maharaj was entire Ravina before falling. And attachment was the cause which led him to fall down. And it costed him 3 months. Ajamila was not at all in means कुछ karmic activity devotion किया होगा, but he had a solid history of doing simple activity. But just by chanting name, he was delivered in 12 years. In 12 years, he went to Vaikuntha. Finally, it costed him 3 lives. So, how we understand this? Or it was just because Bharat was form of practice.
So not like that. The purpose also there. See, Ajamila is a case study of normal conditioned soul. Bharat Maharaj staying back is not to see him as a kind of fault or not seeing that, okay, see how long time is taking, not like that. He's staying back is to instruct all of us. There are teachings of Bharat Maharaj and to Jadabharata. He was waiting for the right participants, right qualified person who can hear. That teachings are there in the Bhagavatam. For the rest of the day, will be there. That pastime is personally orchestrated by the Lord to teach us. If you have any kind of mental attachment, it may take time. But by the way, he also left behind so many wonderful teachings. So in that way, we should see. In the case of Ajamila, we don't know. For Bharat Maharaj, we know 3 lifetimes. But Ajamila, we don't know previous lifetimes. He also might be a great Mahabhagavata in the past life. And because of some reason, he was born in the Brahmana family and now he had to go through this entire thing and then get in perfection. But in any case, if you take that case, what is happening now, we don't give importance. So forget about the previous life. In spite of being so sinful, but holy name can deliver. This pastime actually we should see in this, even previously also we discussed. This whole entire 6th canto is like that also, like that only. Even though person's history we don't know, but if you see the current set of activities, he may be doing so many heinous activities, but still Bhakti has the potency to take one from the lowest possible state and take him to the highest possible state. This canto is to highlight the mercy and power of Bhakti. How merciful Bhakti Devi is, how powerful Bhakti Devi is. So in that way we have to see. The purpose of 5th canto was different and purpose of 6th canto is different. So in that way we have to see. So the comparison may not be appropriate. So in that way. So basically here Ajamila, like I showed now, he was supposed to go to hell because he chanted Lord's names. The Vaikunta Vimana itself came and took him to Vaikunta. What kind of miracle can happen in the life of a person if one takes to the Bhakti, Rasa Bhakti, chanting holy names or Shravanam, Kirtanam or any Rasa Bhakti. This section is focusing on Kirtanam, so in that way, Kirtanam. So this chapter will give us we should give us the hope. Okay, Bhakti can do this kind of miracle. So I am not at the lowest level of Ajamila. Somewhere in between. Certainly something good will happen to me. So now the question is, for Ajamila it happened 12 years. So when it will happen to me? Now, in those 12 years, how serious Ajamila was? If we become that serious, for us also it may be 12 years. So that is the conclusion of this chapter. Last verse is all about that only. So because Ajamila did like this and he only took 12 years, then why I am taking so much time? So we have to see. Now how seriously Ajamila is practicing, are we that serious? So the remaining chapter is all about the glories of holy name, kind of Falashruti and glories of holy name. Evam saviplavita sarva dharma dasya pati patito garhya karmana nipatyamano nirayata vrita tadyo vimukto bhagavan nama gruhnan.
Even kept it back. So thus he was destined to be carried order, but he was immediately rescued simply by being chanting of the holy name.
Having given up all dharma, becoming the husband of a prostitute, degrading himself by the most condemned actions, having broken all vows, and in the process of being thrown to hell, he was immediately liberated on chanting the name of the Lord. The last line, if you see carefully, Sadhyo Vimukto Bhagavan Namagruhnun. Just as Mataji said, he attained liberation immediately. 12 years is nothing in comparison to any other case studies if you take. So, because he has taken the holy name very seriously, he attained liberation very quickly. Nata param karma nibandha krutnanam. Nata param karma nibandha kruntanam. Mumukshatam tirtha padanu kirtanat. Nayat punakar majusajjate mano. Rajastamobhyam kalilam tato niyata.
At whose feet all the holy places stand. One cannot derive the proper benefit from other methods, such as pious atonement, speculative knowledge, and meditation in mystic yoga. Because even after following such methods, one takes to fruitive activity, again unable to control his mind, which is contaminated by base qualities of nature, namely passion and ignorance.
There is no better way for those desiring liberation to cut the bondage of karma than chanting about the Lord. Because by chanting, the mind does not again become attached to material actions. By other processes, mind again becomes contaminated by rajas and tamas. Nata param karma nibandha karkantanam mumukshatam tirtha padanu kirtanat. Pada anukirtanat. Continuous chanting of Lord's holy name with complete surrender does not allow one's mind to deviate to the lower modes, mode of goodness, mode of ignorance, and mode of passion. So this is actually stated in the Bhagavatam itself. But though we are chanting Hare Krishna mantra for many years, still there are a lot of attachments, lot of bonding with so many things around us. So it takes time. It is not that we are chanting, but we are not, you can say, so seriously. Of course, some of us may not be serious, but we are not that serious so that we lose attraction for things around us. In that way, we can see. The Prabhupada actually strongly writes people who are not serious in practicing bhakti, after some time, they give up and start doing all the other mundane activities, etc. etc. Mundane, not mundane, but social welfare activities, etc. So one should have such kind of determination so that one will not give up. This process is the perfect method of atonement for actions performed in Rajas and Tamas, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. So, but whatever it is, so we should be serious about what we are doing and why we are doing. So, with more and more seriousness, slowly, our attachment for bhakti will increase and our detachment from material world will decrease. That also will increase. So, today in the Bhagavad Gita, we were discussing, Prabhuji was telling that Satam Kirtayanto Mam Etanchascha Sudavrata Namasantascha Mam Bhaktya Nitya Yukta Upasate. Satam Kirtayanto Mam. One should come to that point. One should be able to constantly chant Lord's holy name, Lord's glories, Nama, Guru, Pakunalila, Kirtan, whichever. So till then, we need to struggle. We need to take care of our responsibilities, our attachments, and then when we come to this point, This we used to discuss in our Bhakti Shastri. Saratam Kirtayanto Mam. Oh, Yatantascha Drudavrata. Namasantas Mam Bhaktya Nitya Yukta Upasate. Nitya Yukta. There should be one desire. A devotee, when has this one desire, that means is qualified to go, or not qualified, is ready to go to spiritual world. Nitya Yukta means I'm done with all my devotional activities here. Now I don't want to serve the deity anymore. I want to serve the Lord in person for the rest of eternity. That should be the desire one should cultivate. Nitya Yukta means that desire. And with that desire, one should engage bhakti here. Then one is expressing one's readiness to come to spiritual world. Then Lord will take that person to spiritual world. Ananyas chintayanto mam ejana paryupasate. Tesham nitya abhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyam. 2 days back, I think previously in the last Tuesday we were discussing this verse in Chembur. So because Gita Jayanti is coming, so I was discussing from Gita. So I spoke on this verse only. Tesham nitya abhiyuktanam. When a devotee develops this desire that, my dear Lord, bahut ho gaye yahan pe. Now I want to come to spiritual world. I want to serve you in person in your abode for the rest of eternity. And it is that Ananya Chintayantumam, no other chinta, no other thought in my mind. I only have one thought. I'm done with all my responsibilities, all my duties in this world. Everything is done. Bahut ho gaya. Now I want to serve you in person alone. No one else. Alone means I want to serve you alone for the rest of eternity. No one else. When that desire comes to the mind of a devotee, then he is telling, from his side, he is telling that I'm ready. It's up to you whenever you want to take me to your abode. So we need to aspire for that. From chanting, the mind is not attached to material actions. Otherwise, by atonements, the mind becomes contaminated. Basically, Prabhupada writes that all other processes, karma, jnana, yoga, and all, they are good. But attraction towards spiritual world and Supreme Lord, there is a chance of deviation. In the case of bhakti, there is no deviation. Prabhupada is saying, Bhagavatam is saying, but we see our mind is always deviating here, there, everywhere. That means we are not seriously chanting. If one seriously chants, it will not happen. So we need to work hard. Yayetam paramam guhyam itihasam agapaham shrunuya shraddaya yukto yascha bhaktyanu kirtayet navaisa narakam yati nekshito yamakinkarai yadi api amangalo martyo Vishnu loke mahiyate.
Body, he may have. Indeed, the Buddhas who carry out do not approach him even to see him. Giving up his body, he returns home back to Godhead, and he is very respectfully received.
The person who, with faith, hears in the bracket and practices. Hears and practices, not just hearing. Whenever in the Bhagavatam or any other literatures, when they say Palashruti, those who hear this pastime, they will get this, that, this, that. It is not just by hearing. When we hear something, whatever the person who attained perfection in that story, whatever he did, we should follow in the same way. Then only whatever he has got, we get. It is not just by hearing. So it is quote unquote in the bracket, always there. The person who with faith hears this most confidential story which destroys sin, or who recites in the brackets and practices this story with devotion, does not go to hell and is not seen by the servants of Yama, even if he was sinful. Rather, he goes to the abode of the Supreme Lord. This is Falashruti.
Here it is said that even if one hears, and even if he is sinful, he will not go to heaven just by hearing.
No.
After
Hearing
practicing.
in the bracket practicing. Speaking in the bracket practicing. See, it is simple. Scriptures are not saying evidently because they assume that when you hear something, you will practice. That is assumed. So in that way, when we say our children say something, when they hear, it is not that it is not that they end up with hearing only. When they hear something means they have to follow. That is what is expected. So same thing here also. When we say children that leave the knife there, that means they have to keep the knife aside. It is not that just okay, they have heard and they are still playing with the knife. That then the mother comes and beats the child. Same way, when Shastra is saying that when somebody hears means they have heard and then they have followed what they have heard. That is actually expected default. Then only we get what they have got. Otherwise, if everything is getting one gets everything just by hearing, then this why this person is working so hard to get that, and we have the other person is getting simply by hearing. There is a lot of impartiality. Sakran Manakrishna Padara Vindayor Niveshitam Tad Ragi Tad Gunaragi Eriha Nate Yamam Pasha Butash Tad Batan Swapnepi Pashyanti Hichirna Nishkruta. This was one of the shloka which was mentioned in the beginning of this first chapter, this episode, in the 19th verse. After this verse only, the pastime began. The Ajamila pastime entirely began. This verse says that even once, if a person with wholeheartedly remember the lotus feet of Supreme Lord, the name, form, guna, rupa, whatever it is, anything, that person will not even see the Yamadutas in the dreams. Then what to speak of seeing the Yamadutas in reality? Same thing in the shloka also it is said something. So does not go to hell and is not seen by the servants of Yama. Whether we seeing the servants of Yama or whether they seeing us, both are same only. That means the Yamaduta servants will never come this side to this person who has chanted Lord's holy name or who has heard Ajamila's pastime and tried to follow in the footsteps of Ajamila in those 12 years of Haridwar stay. Yamadutas will never look at that person. So this purification does not depend on a solid basis of bhakti. Even once remembering the Lord is sufficient. What to speak of remembering the Lord? Many times. Even thinking with them within the mind is sufficient. Then what to speak of hearing or uttering the name of the Lord? So this verse and next verse, they are talking to highlight the potency of the holy name. So one hearing of the Lord holy name also can stop one from going to hell and can enable one to go to spiritual world also. Then what to speak of someone if someone does for the entire life with utmost sincerity. So like that. The next verse is also same thing. The mind which is materially attached is sufficient. Tad gunarag eriha. What to speak of a mind without any material attachments? Even a mind filled with so many material attachments, still that mind chants or remembers Lord's holy name. That remembrance is sufficient to stop him from going to hell. Then what to speak of? Remembering the Lord with pure mind. Thinking even in dreams is sufficient. Then what to speak of thinking about the Lord in awakened state, in meditation? Such persons have accomplished all atonement. Sab kuch paa liya. So like that. The glories of holy name is Param Guhyam. कभी कोई बोला क्या आपको ग्लोरीज का होली नेम का ग्लोरीज? कौन बोला? इस्कॉन में आने के पहले, इस्कॉन में आने के बाद नहीं, इस्कॉन में वही वही बोलता है. एवरीवन डिस्कसेस अबाउट ग्लोरीज ऑफ होली नेम ओनली. इस्कॉन से बाहर कभी हाँ that's why it is Param Guhyam. It is for everybody also, but even though it is said, I mean, people get to hear Harinam Sankirtan also, but till they don't accept it, till they don't accept it as the most important thing. What is the use of it being so glorious if you don't understand it? It will remain as a glorious only. You remain as a poor person only. See, if some person comes to you and gives you a diamond, you treat it as an ordinary stone. What is the use of it being a diamond? You should know the value of diamond. You should understand what do you mean by diamond. Diamond means it is more valuable than gold and any other valuable things. Then only you can take the diamond and you can sell it to somebody, you can get the wealth. If you treat it as a normal stone, you will throw it into the garbage. देने वाला दे रहे, unless until you know what is the important, what is the value of that, you will not take it. That's what I'm saying. Bhagavad Gita, we are giving everyone all over Mumbai. But how many will understand the glories of Bhagavad Gita and accept it as with the whole heart and follow it? Even though you glorify, also you will not understand. If you tell that, okay, you give this stone and tell that, you know, this is Kohinoor diamond. He says, what bakwas bol rahe ho? ये तो दिख रहे हैं ना, ये तो white stone है. whatever, ये stone है, normal stone है. आप कोहिनूर डायमंड बोल रहे हैं क्या? कोहिनूर कुछ नहीं है, जाओ इधर से, टाइम वेस्ट मत करो. So it's like that. That's why Bhagavad Gita was there from last 5,000 years. So they have understood it. For them, it is the most valuable or the most confidential knowledge. For others, it is a book for the bookshelf. It's like that. That's why Lord Krishna says, though the Bhagavad Gita book may be there with everyone, but the knowledge in the Bhagavad Gita remained as most confidential knowledge. Only those who are qualified to get it, they will understand it. उसके लिए we need to earn that patrata. Otherwise, it remains there only. So, but anyway, last verse for this chapter and also for today's discussion. Okay, we have one more. In summary, even if a devotee practicing pure bhakti happens to commit sin again, it is like the bite of a snake without fangs. Those sins have no significant effect. That condition should not be compared to the elephant taking bath on the karmi of the karmi who again commits sin. So this we discussed elaborately. Yena Bhagavad Gita mein shloka. Mamchayo vyabicharena. No, not that. Not that is 14th chapter. This is from 9th chapter. Today morning Prabhuji also discussed this verse. 9th chapter mein na. Sadhureva samantavya samyavyotisya. Apiche suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak. Sadhureva samantavya samyak vyotisya. So Kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashvak chanting nigachati. Kaunteya pratijanati name bhakta pratijanati. So basically, when one takes to bhakti, because of some unavoidable circumstances, one may commit some sinful activity. Still, that person should not be treated as a sinful person because he still continue to practice bhakti. Bhakti will elevate him and take him back to Godhead. But the person who makes comments on him will be bound here because he is committing offense. Lord Krishna says that never ever undermine that person because in the right path he remains sadhu, Kshipram Dharmatma. Very soon he will become Dharmatma and he will come to me without any issue. Like
Somebody who's in that name can
but who will be suffering afterwards? If that person in the name of bhakti is doing all the sinful activities, जानबूझ के कर रहे तो वो भी suffer करेंगे. Here Lord Krishna is telling for the benefit of both. If that person is remorse and practicing bhakti afterwards, he will attain perfection. Yeah, now let us complete this. See the two case studies. One case study is there is a devotee who is practicing bhakti but made a mistake unknowingly. There is a second person who is observing him. If this person finds fault with him and makes a comment, this person is doomed. Because that person is sincere, accidentally made a mistake, and he will correct, rectify, and take bhakti seriously, and he will attain perfection, go back to Godhead. He is doomed. On the other hand, other person is a devotee in name. In the name of devotee, he is performing all the sinful activities, and here is another person. If this person criticizes, what happens? That person anyway he goes through whatever he is doing for what? He will get the results. वो तो हो जाएगा. And this person who has criticized this person, okay, in the first case, if he is a devotee, this person is doomed. Second case, he is not a devotee. By chance, he may become devotee afterwards. The offense is taken seriously. For the benefit of this person, whether whenever he sees a mistake, that person may be a devotee or non devotee, it is better to keep quiet. Unless until he has authority to do something. If this person is actually very well known to him or he can do something. In general case, he may know, may not know, but in a safe side, he should. It is not that keep quiet means you should simply see and not to do anything. You can report to someone who can do something, who has authority. Huh? One should safeguard oneself and one should report to somebody senior. If one can do something, one can do within the purview of one's capacity. So unnecessarily does not get into aparad condition. So in that way, from one should be careful getting into aparad condition. So that is the way to understand. That is there people exploit. वो बहुत सारा हो रहा है आजकल चल रहा है ना. Will not take name, but it's going on. So many things are happening outside media. 14 So now, last verse, concluding the story, Srila Sukadeva Goswami gives the conclusion about the glories of the holy name in one sentence in order to give full understanding. Mriyamano harer nama grinan putropacharitam ajamilopi agaddama kimvuta shraddaya grinan. Shwetaganga Mataji, you want to read the translation?
Yes, Prabhuji, I'll read.
Please.
While suffering at the time of death, Ajamil chanted the holy name of the Lord, and although the chanting was directed towards his son, he nevertheless returned home back to Godhead. Therefore, if one faithfully and inoffensively chants the holy name of the Lord, where is the doubt that he will return to Godhead?
Ajamila, by chanting the name of the Lord to indicate his son while dying, attained the abode of Supreme Lord. What then will happen if one chants with faith? This is a instruction for all of us. Same kind of instruction comes after Putana's episode. Putana Loka Balagni Rakshasi Rudrasani. Even though she is a Rakshasi, she came with the intention to kill Lord Krishna, but she came in the form of a mother. She made her own breast milk to Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna saw that Yatudani Apiyas Fargam Avapa Jananim Gatim. She attained the position of a mother in the spiritual world. Then what to speak of? Then the Sukadeva Goswami says that Kim Gavonu Matara. The cows and the elderly ladies of the entire Vrindavan, they accepted Krishna as their son and they served Krishna as their son for one long year. What Krishna will give to them? So like that. Same way here, Ajamila chanted without faith. He casually chanted. Since he was dying, He did not chant, he did not think that I am chanting Lord's holy name. He did not, he heard Bhagavad Gita. Antakale cha mameva smaranmukta kalam. He never had that. He just chanting the name of his son. But by the way, it happened to Lord's name. What will happen if one chants with faith? Ajamila chanted Lord's name without any faith. If one chants with faith, what will happen? He chanted while dying. He chanted Lord's name at the time of death. Of course, before also he was chanting for a few months, you could say. What will happen if one chants while living? While dying only chanted, he has got opportunity to go to spiritual world. If one chants while living, what will happen? He chanted to indicate his son. What will happen if one chants indicating the Lord only? You tell. Ajamila was the most sinful. Then what will happen if a sinless person chants? Like that. There is nothing else to think about. A sinful person, and then he's chanting, indicating to his son. He is chanting at the time of death and without any faith. If with faith, whole life, indicating the Lord, and then leading a life of sinlessness. If he can go to Vaikuntha, what can the other person can get? That means obviously we'll go to Vaikuntha. There is no doubt in going to Vaikuntha, that person. And the moksha discussion about moksha. That fear will protect us. There should be healthy fear. One should not be succumbed by that fear, but there should be healthy fear, so that we are careful in our dealings, in our services. There should be fear of Namaparad, so that we will become careful while chanting. There should be fear of Seva Aparad, so that we will be careful while doing Seva. There should be fear of Vaishnava Aparad or Dhamma Aparad, so that we will become careful in dealing with Vaishnavas and Dhamma. So there should be healthy fear that will protect us. So like that. So with this, we are done with second chapter. So in the next class, we will start with the third chapter. Krishna. It's time now. Mataji, you have any questions?
No, Prabhuji, thank you.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare
So,
Thank you very much.
so thank you very much for joining today. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Bhakta Vrinda ki. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.